Good morning, guys. It's March 20th. It's a Saturday morning. I've been here for just over a month now. And a couple weeks ago, I'd gone over to the temple when we were doing the painting project. It was put on by the Tibetan Women's Association, commemoration of March 12th, which was National Tibetan Women's Uprising Day. And while I was there, I picked up this book, Tears of Silence. And it is Tears of Silence represents the concerted efforts of Tibetan women to address the issue of China's birth control policy in Tibet from a women's human rights perspective. They are talking about some of the progress that has been made and that some women in Tibet enjoy relative freedom in their family planning, but the coercive aspects that dominated the 1980s have not yet entirely disappeared, and much greater transparency is still needed concerning the policies and regulations surrounding population control in Tibet. Some of you may have heard, China does have a birth control or a birth child policy. Urban areas, it's only supposed to be one child. For the Tibetans, if they're in a rural area, it's supposed to be 2 or 3 children. But the preferred sterilization technique, or the preferred birth control technique, is actually sterilization or abortion, some of which are forced. I was reading this in particular. One woman from eastern Tibet had accounted that in 1988 the Chinese took me by force and sterilized me. She continues to report another example of such acts of abortion. Since I had children then was officially allowed, my children were designated as illegal and deprived of all rights or citizenship, as dictated by Chinese ideology. We were no longer eligible for ration cards, resident registration, or travel permits. In reality, my children became non-entities. Along with me, nearly 30 other women were sterilized at the same time. I can say that 70% of women aged 18 and above in my village have been sterilized. They, the Chinese, treat us like animals and use methods. My sister-in-law was aborted before her husband's eyes. She was 4 months into pregnancy when they took her to the clinic by force. They bound her hands and legs. A doctor, wearing gloves, put his hand into her and seemed to squeeze the fetus. She became delirious and bled profusely. Many other pregnant women, some at 7 months, were given injection in the stomach. The women wailed in agony and delivered dead fetuses. While operating, medical staff often made incisions without anesthesia and with little consideration for the pain that was being inflicted. I have witnessed these terrible things with my own eyes. 2 more examples of methods used in the case of abortion reported in Chodon, 2007, are the first-hand accounts by recent arrivals in India who had received 4 abortions before she had left in 1989. She told the Tibet Information Network how she and Big Boss, when I was 5 months pregnant, they aborted my child at the main People's Hospital in Lhasa. After this injection, the child came the next day, stillborn. A former nurse at the Lhasa People's Hospital gives testimony to this method that women who are 9 months pregnant are injected into the abdomen to induce abortion. If delivered alive, the fetus is also injected so it will die. The second example of methods in the reported cases of field include inserting a small electric device into the womb, which destroyed the fetus. Following this, the woman was made to take a pill and the fetus was taken out in bits and pieces. The Chinese authorities do not talk publicly about this method of fetus killing. So I know a lot of the people that are watching this are young or are young women. And, I don't know necessarily how this ties into what Built on Respect is about as far as moving things forward and stopping things, but the best thing that I can do is share information with you. So if you want to learn more, TibetanWomen.org is the website that's listed on the back of this book. But, yeah, that's kind of cultural genocide in action, and it's upsetting me a lot while I'm here, and I don't know what I can do yet, but I'd like to figure it out. So, not the house today, but be happy where you are, and be happy if you have rights that aren't being exploited in this way. Alright, I'll talk to you later, guys.